Hey there, how are you doing? I am Star Penn. I am your leaky gut coach, and I am the creator and founder of the JIA Blueprint, where I help moms to get a hold of this juvenile arthritis, uveitis, or really any autoimmune issue that you're dealing with your children, and to empower you and to educate you so you no longer feel so confused and overwhelmed by this and are able to actually start doing the things you need to do to reverse it, because it is possible. Before I get started, please, if you could subscribe to my channel if this is the kind of information that you're interested in, and please share it with whoever you know who you think would find value in it, because we probably know a lot of other moms who are struggling with very similar issues, if not the same one. And of course, like this video, please. And that way YouTube will know that people see value in it, and will make sure more and more people get to see it. So with that, I wanted to talk to you all today about allergies, food allergies, environmental allergies. Does your JIA child struggle with allergies? Or did they have siblings that struggle with allergies? Do you struggle with allergies? And if so, then I hope this video sheds some light on the subject for you and helps you to see really how all these things are interconnected and how these things build up in the body and really get us to the condition that we're in now. So let's get into that. Does your child, one of your JIA child or one of their siblings have allergies? Why do they have allergies? What is this? So a lot of times, if we start to notice that our child maybe is allergic to dogs or cats or dust or pollen, or maybe after eating a certain food, let's go get allergy tested, right? It's on the natural cusp of things. We might really think like this is what we're supposed to be doing. Well, what ends up happening, and I'll explain why, is that we end up living a life where all we're doing is eliminating. And it gets to where our kids are just like, it seems like they're allergic to the earth and everything on it. And it's just this never ending cycle of just sickness, and it never does seem to get any better. And the reason for that is because it starts in our child's gut and in our gut. And when we take a look or come to understand what the internal wall of our child's gut is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be just covered with this good bacteria that holds the junctions of the gut lining together, and like a mucus keeps bad bacteria, or anything, food, fecal matter, anything, or an actual pathogen from getting out into the bloodstream. And so what happens over time, and this is epidemic at this point, this is not just your family. It's just expressing itself in different ways in all of our families. But allergies, skin allergies, asthma, these are usually precursors to the bigger ones that come up. So you might have seen another video of mine where maybe I explained something very similar, what I'm about to explain now, but I was talking about juvenile arthritis and how it gets into the joints, or uveitis and how it gets into the eyes. Well, it starts with allergies usually, because what happens is that because of our modern era, the bacteria we've handed down to our kids, the environment they live in, the gut wall is not as densely populated with this good bacteria as it should be. And things that we do in our everyday lifestyle, nothing that we're doing wrong per se, but just everyday living in this world, it gets worn down even more, and it leaves these spaces here where it's not so mucusy, it's not so barricaded, it's not so solid. And these bad bacteria are able to get in between these junctions and things. And so Candida, for one thing, likes to kind of corkscrew in there. They create little permeable holes in the gut lining, and other pathogens do similar things. And so what ends up happening is that undigested food particles, we're going to talk about allergies. Undigested food particles are able to seep through these microscopic junctions in the gut wall and into the bloodstream. Now, this is before these things make it into the joints or into the eye or into the brain or another organ, just right into the bloodstream. And when the immune system sees this, it attacks it, and it's going to react to these things. So we might, maybe eat something one day, and then something else another day, and something else another day, and then we have an allergic reaction on this day. And our first thought is, what was the last thing I just ate? Maybe that's what it was. It could have been the last thing you just ate, but it could have also been what you've eaten over those course of all those days that is causing this reaction. So we'll go to get some allergy testing, and then lo and behold, the stuff that your child is eating is the stuff that they're allergic to. We're like, oh man, that's all the stuff he loves. All right. Well, it's not so much that. It's that is what the body is detecting as an invader in the blood. It's not anything wrong with the food or wrong with your child's body, that it in itself doesn't want the food. It's just the simple fact that this food does not belong in the bloodstream. Nothing does. Nothing that started inside of our gut belongs out in the bloodstream. And anything that comes outside of that gut wall and into the bloodstream and other parts of the body is going to get the attention of the immune system, and it is going to cause an immune response. And in this case, it's allergies. So I say, praise this allergy. Thank you for telling me that something is wrong, because really that's all that these things are, these allergies, this inflammation response. It's the skin, the eczema. It's your body communicating with you, telling you something is not right. And unfortunately, we've been geared to go after the Band-Aid approach in many cases, not really realizing we're going for the Band-Aid. It's not like I want to go for the Band-Aid, but we don't realize it when we go for a cream, or if we go for, something that's just simply anti-inflammatory, herbal, or medicinal or medical or anything like that we're really just trying to stop the reaction. But that's not what our body's asking us to do. Our body's trying to get our attention, saying, no, stuff is getting out into the bloodstream. That's why I'm telling you this. You need to go. Don't look at me. Look over here. This is what's wrong. Right? But we didn't know that. And we don't know that. And and I'm just so grateful that I learned that. And that's why I help and I teach other people this information. So along with some of the other content in my other videos, which I encourage you to read, I want you to realize that if your GI child has allergies, it is the same response that's going on with the allergies that's going on with their JIA. It has the same root cause. It's your child's body trying to tell you the exact same thing. And really, the allergies usually come first. It's usually the skin first, or the hay fever, or the hives, or the rash. Those are the initial things. So again, if your child's siblings have allergies and then you have your JIA child too, this is something you want to look at as like a blanketed, an entire family healing that needs to take place, because it's just a matter of time before the allergies progress into something else. And there's no way of solving this issue simply by eliminating the foods that your child is coming up as allergic to, because all that's going to happen is you're going to feed them other foods, which in time are going to get through the gut junction wall as well. And then the body is going to say, hey, you don't belong in the bloodstream, and yada, yada, yada. And we're on the exact same thing. And you're just like, oh, they can't eat anything. And she can't have this, can't have that, can't have that, can't have that. Right. And then next thing you know, it's something else. So please know that let's praise these allergies for giving us the information we need, because if we don't deal with the gut, and these things are getting out, and toxins are getting out, and food particles are getting out, and fecal matter is getting out, these things can only stack. They don't disappear. They can only stack. And we'll be living our life thinking, oh, man, why are we so sickly? Why do we have all these sicknesses? I'm just hypothetical here. This one child has, behavioral learning issues. This one's got the juvenile arthritis. This one, oh, the asthma, and even things like autism. All of these things have a root cause. And I'm not saying how that cause came to be, because there's tons of speculation and tons of things that we don't know as far as that goes. But as far as how these things come to be and how the brain can be affected, the eye can be affected, the thyroid can be affected, everything, the lungs can be affected. I'm just going down the list, right? All of these things, the skin, the gut, the joints, they all are going to end up being affected. And if we have one now, if we don't deal with it properly, then we'll have another one to compound on top of it. Because remember, the toxins are still getting out. So I hope this information is informational. I hope that understanding that if there's allergies, either in your JIA child or in one of their siblings, that this is a family matter. This is all one root thing, and praise this allergy that it never has to get worse than this, that you can reverse your children's allergies by sealing and healing their gut, rebuilding the microbiome in their gut, and doing other things as well to help the body to detox these things. But this is doable. This is reversible. And I just hope that you have all of the hope in the world with this information that I'm giving you. If you ever want any more information or would like to get on a call with me, please feel free to do that. Reach out to me. I'm happy to share whatever it is I can. Get you enrolled in my JIA blueprint. I have all Mama's Healing in there. And that is the goal. And that is what we do. All right. Well, until next time, you have a wonderful day. Thanks.